really all the products, whether they are collectibles or whether they are games, it's about the fans, it's about the fandom, it's about creating moments, certainly when it applies to games and experiences, that are important to the fans. So everything from the gameplay, is it fun, is it compelling, is it exciting, is it a game experience that I would share with my family or with my friends, is the artwork live up to what I expect the franchise or the brand that I love, you know, in terms of that high bar. So we think about all of those different things when we create our gameplay experiences. And also too, when we market our games as well too, we want to be able to talk to the fans in authentic ways, show them the game, show the experience, and then let them decide, is it a game ultimately that they would be proud to have in their game collection.
Funko has a massive lineup and diverse characters and franchises. How do you decide which properties to focus on for a new product or series?
That's a great question. So in terms of the franchises, we're always looking to see is like what is resonating out there, whether they are movie franchises, TV shows, comic books. We look at like what's happening and what's popular. We also look at what are some of those franchises or brands that were big in the past, that there are still rabid legions of fans that would be excited to play a game based on a brand. One example of that is Scream the game, which we have hands-on gameplay available here at our rooftop tabletop event here at San Diego Comic-Con. So that is based on the original 1990s movie, Scream. It is a cooperative game. You are trying to survive the torture and the torment of Ghostface. What's unique is that about our Scream game is that it has a free companion app that features Roger L. Jackson, who is the voice of the original Ghostface from the 1990s motion picture as well too. And so throughout the game, you will get that call from the app that will torment, torture you, threaten you, harass you and your teammates as you work together to piece different elements and different artifacts of the game before the time runs out at the end of the gameplay.
How does Funko maintain its appeal to both new collectors and long-term fans while continuously expanding its product offerings?
Okay,
sorry. How does Funko maintain its appeal to both new collectors and long-term fans while continuously expanding its product offerings?
Yeah, so for Funko and Funko games, it's back to the fans, and it's about fun. It's about fandoms as well, and the celebration of those fandoms. So whether they are tried and true fandoms, like Star Wars, like Marvel, like DC Comics, for example, or if they're newer fandoms like Stranger Things, as an example, too. We're always looking and listening to the fans as far as what's hot, what's popular, and what opportunities could we certainly explore to create collectibles, but also gameplay experiences that live up to the demands and the excitement and the fandoms that are out there.
Many fans enjoy the exclusivity of limited edition for Funko. Can you tell us more about the decision-making process behind exclusivity release and how you choose distribution partner for them?
Okay. So I can't necessarily speak to the Funko Pops as far as certainly that's another team that oversees as far as the development and selection in terms of exclusivity, where retail locations or where you can get things like the exclusives here at San Diego Comic-Con, for example, too. But we look at in terms of games as far as where fans can pick things up. And certainly there's an opportunity here at San Diego Comic-Con. So we have, for example, a Funko Pop puzzle that is based on Freddy Funko and traveling across the United States. And so that is the first time, this is the show that for the first time fans will be able to get their hands on that Funko Pops puzzle. It'll be available later, but it's the opportunity for fans here to say, I was the first to get that.
Funko Games has been creating board games and tabletop experiences based on popular franchises. How do you approach translating this information into engaging and unique gameplay experiences?
That's great. That's a great example as far as in translation and expanding the experiences beyond North America, for example. So we're looking at certainly those franchises that have universal appeal or universal fandoms and looking in terms of where are the regions, where are the territories, what are the localization efforts that are needed to bring the game to life to the fans that would look forward to playing that in other regions worldwide.
What sets Funko Games apart from other companies in the tabletop gaming industry, and how do you ensure that your games appeal to both hardcore gamers and casual players?
That's good. So what separates Funko Games from other game publishers and manufacturers is that we have the pedigree of our games development studio, Prospero Hall, in Seattle, Washington, with 20 plus years of experience as a collective that make games where it's really a group of inventors that are incredibly passionate about making games and about making the best games possible. Even though they're licensed games, we put the care and the effort and the creativity and the storytelling to create compelling board game experiences, whether it is a game like Star Wars Rivals, whether if it's a game like Indiana Jones Sands of Adventure that we have available for gamers to play this afternoon and throughout the show. It's about the attention to detail and bringing those particular fandoms, characters, stories to life in a very meaningful, very compelling way that delivers on the expectations that fans would expect from a board game experience.
Can you give us some highlights into the game development process at Funko Games from ideation to final product?
So the creation, the ideation of board games is a very long process. In some games it has taken us over more than a couple of years to create that. But it certainly starts with an idea. It's based on fandoms and franchises that are popular, that are resonating. And these not only just current franchises, but also other franchises that have endured, decades, years, that are still popular today. So we take a look at that, but also it really starts with a deep partnership process in working with licensors, motion picture studios, TV studios, comic book properties as well too, to ensure that we're creating an experience that the licensors love, but also that we know that together and working with them really brings in an authentic way that gameplay experience to life for fans.
How do you strike a balance between staying true to the source material at the franchise and adding original elements to make the gamer stand out?
So in terms of maintaining the authenticity and the faith of source material for games, a game like Star Wars Rivals, for example, where you think of over 40 years of Star Wars lore in this galaxy, from the original trilogy of movies to the more recent movies, and the fans that are there that span multiple generations. Star Wars Rivals is really a game where we looked at the entire landscape of what Star Wars storytelling looks like and created a game that is based on characters from all the different generations, from the original trilogy to Ahsoka Tano, for example, from the animated series and the forthcoming Disney Plus TV series as well. And also the dueling aspect as far as this inherent eternal conflict between dark and light sides of the Force, which is the premise of the game as you're dueling over many different iconic locations from throughout the Star Wars galaxy as well.
And my last question, what means for you San Diego Comic-Con? What means for you San Diego Comic-Con?
So for me personally, Comic-Con is about connecting one-on-one with the fans and just to see that incredible enthusiasm and passion, not only for Funko and Funko games, but for all the fandoms that are out there and all the pop culture entertainment that we get together as fans of that to celebrate together.
Perfect. Thank you. Can you take a picture?
Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome.
We're going to get the backdrop. We're going to do this the right way. One more.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Boris.
so much for joining us.
Thank you.